and welcome to another episode of the Walk the Line podcast. I'll be your host, Greg Sowers, and today's topic will be mistakes. How to deal with mistakes, what happens if your teammate makes a mistake, and obviously how to uh, deal with yourself making a mistake during the game. So again, this will be another short episode. We've had a lot of feedback about people enjoying the shorter ones, so they can listen to them while they're on the way to school or on the way home. So we'll keep this one between 10 and 15 minutes. But again, talking about mistakes for this episode. Number one, so if you're out there on the ice and you happen to have a bad shift, you know, we don't want to have bad body language, right? So in the game of hockey, it's a game full of mistakes. It's not perfect. The game is how you react to those mistakes, and both teams are making mistakes throughout the game. And if it was perfect every time, well, the game wouldn't be too exciting. And hockey's a great game like that, where it's not football and something happens and you get back to the line of scrimmage and you get to start all over again. You have to learn to read and react based off the plays that are happening right in front of you and the mistakes that are happening. So if you happen to be out there and you make a bad pass or cause a turn or turn the puck over, don't have bad body language. You don't want to slam your stick on the ice, slam the glass, scream a profanity. One, it looks bad from a coaching perspective and a scouting perspective. You don't want to be the kid who can't deal with making a mistake. Coaches and scouts and obviously your teammates want to see how you respond to those mistakes. And the worst thing you can do is give up on the play. So, I'm the last defenseman back, and I try to go D to D at my offensive blue line, and one of their, wingers picks off the pass at center and goes down for a breakaway. Well, you're not going to give up on that play. And if you don't try to track that guy down who's on that breakaway from your offensive blue line, it looks terrible. And especially if, you give up on the play and the kid goes down and your goalie makes a big save, but then you didn't bust back and there's going to be a rebound sitting there and the kid picks up the rebound. So a lot of people want to see how you react to making those mistakes more so than the mistakes happening. Mistakes are going to happen. You got to react the correct way and get back and try to make up for that mistake. Another good thing to think about is if you get back to the bench and you didn't have a great shift, you need to have that short term memory, especially if it's early on in the game. You don't need to be sitting on the bench and starting to play timid after that one mistake on that one shift because you got 20 more minutes to go or however much is left in the game. You don't want to be the kid who's sulking and thinking about the one mistake they made. You want to go out there and fix it on your next shift and not necessarily push to make up for it, but just get back to the way you play and make sure you're being smart with the puck. You don't want to be thinking about the mistakes that have happened in the past. Short-term memory, life goes on. You'll get another shift, and again, just recovering from that mistake. Uh, you want to be a good teammate. If you make the mistake, it's don't blame your teammate for not catching the pass or not going the way you thought he was going to go. Hockey's a game of communication as well, and things move quickly. So if something doesn't go your way, don't be the kid who gets back to the bench and hey Alex, why didn't you go left? I thought you were gonna go left here and you went right, and then I made the pass and it went to the other team's defenseman. You can have constructive conversations rather than blaming a teammate, and all that's going to do is if you get back to the bench and you're criticizing a teammate, it's just going to make the bench uncomfortable, and the whole energy of the team is probably going to change based off that kind of attitude. So again, just make sure you're staying positive. Mistakes are part of the game. Make sure you're coming back from it with a positive mindset and getting back to what you do best. And then I think another important topic of this is, we're not just talking about ourselves making mistakes, but everybody's human and your teammates are going to make mistakes. So again, same situation. Now it's your teammate who made that D to D pass at the offensive blue line. and he busts back, he does the good thing of finishing the play out, and let's say the kid scores. Do not be the teammate who skates over to your buddy and says, "What were you thinking there? I was wide open. Give me the puck." Um, that doesn't help anything. It's going to make that kid crawl further into a hole. You feel like you're on an island. Make sure you pick them up. Like, hey, buddy, don't worry about it. We'll get it next time. You can, provide suggestions, but you want to just make sure you're doing it in a constructive way. You don't want to tell your buddy that, you really messed up there, or you're an idiot for making that pass. Like, hey, next time I'm open down low, move the puck here. But you don't want to go right away and criticize your teammate, and that's not how teams who win do things. You want to make sure you're kind of a family on the ice, and families don't always get along, but make sure you're picking them up, and offering solutions rather than criticizing. And again, you could just talk about what could they do differently next time. Um, and even after the game, it's a long game. Some of you guys are playing 12-minute periods, 14, 15, whatever it may be, based on your level, but you don't want to get stuck on a single mistake from a shift. And there's always ways you can come back from it, and work through it together as a team. So again, just kind of recapping here, do not have bad body language. So much of this game is based on your mental mindset, and being positive, and doing the right things. And a lot of that can change. A lot of the momentum can change with you kicking the boards or slamming your stick over the bench. So just make sure you're staying positive. Do not give up on the play. And again, have some accountability. Look yourself in the mirror before you start blaming somebody else for a mistake. And then again, when someone else makes a mistake, make sure you're picking them up. Let's not criticize our teammates. Let's be a good teammate, and help each other get through the game, get through that shift. And then obviously we can always offer solutions. You guys, even if you're squirts or peewees, you can have constructive conversations with your coach, with your teammates, and figure out what you can do differently to make those mistakes avoidable in the future. And that's how teams grow, and that's how you guys get better as individuals, and making good things happen out there when you're on the ice. But like I said, this was going to be a short episode. Just wanted to briefly touch on this mistakes topic, but we got more exciting things coming this summer. But again, if you have any questions or anything you want to hear discussed on the podcast, feel free to reach out, 307sports.hockey@gmail.com. And we'd love to discuss them on an upcoming podcast. But that's all for today. Have a great rest of your week.